This is Carl Johnson of CJ Behavior Coaching and Consulting, and welcome back to our part 2 of our weekly podcast. And again, we're staying on the subject of self-awareness. And last week, we talked about the question, what are my buttons? So what we wanted you to do is to write down the things that you feel like bothered you or really kind of get you going or get you frustrated or irritate you or your pet peeves and those kind of things. And we had a lot of really great responses. Thank you so much for all of the emails I received. I heard a lot about frustrating about whining, children who whine, children who will talk back, messy rooms. That was another big one. Another big one was parents' frustration about their child refusing to do any kind of chores and how that really kind of got them going because the house is messy and they just refuse to do it, and how do I get my child to do it? So thank you so much for all the email responses, and let's keep it going. So this is part 2, week 2 of our weekly podcast on self-awareness, and I would like you to get your pen and pad together or your pencil or whatever you're using to write with so we can write down question number 2. So question number 2 in our self-awareness series is, am I controlling? Am I controlling? Now, again, these questions are all about self-awareness. It's not about judging. It's just to make you aware of who you are and what things kind of make you move and what makes you think and what makes you tick. Am I controlling is question number 2. Now, a lot of us can be controlling at any given time. Again, it doesn't make you a bad parent, a foster parent, a teacher, a caregiver. It's just something to understand. And one of the reasons why that's a very important question is because quite often people who are very controlling will feel overworked. They will feel overwhelmed. They will feel very stressed out because sometimes we have a tendency to do more than we're supposed to do. And we'll talk about some questions why that is. But if you are very controlling and you are overwhelmed and you're overworked and you're stressed, at some point down the line, you're going to be very resentful at other people around you because you're going to feel like, I'm doing everything and they're doing nothing. I'm doing everything and they're doing nothing. And if you feel that way now, that's something just to think about. Now, the reason why we're, again, talking about self-awareness before we talk about any child behaviors is because the child behaviors, they're going to be there. They're always going to be there. They're never going away. Negative behaviors and positive behaviors, they're always going to be there. But if you are controlling and you are feeling overwhelmed, overworked, stressed out, and resentful, that's only going to add to what your child is doing, and it's going to magnify what your child is doing. So, I also want you to write down these questions as well. Do I have to have my hand or input into everything around me? Do I have to have my hand or input into everything around me? Okay, another question to write down to answer for yourself. Do I feel like if I don't do it, no one else will do it? Do I feel like if I don't do it, no one else will do it? And the third question to write down for yourself in the Am I Controlling series is, do I do extra work because I feel like other people won't do it right? Do I feel like I do extra work because I don't feel like other people will do it right? Now, that's your assignment for today. Just like the last one, please email me your responses and your questions, or any questions you have about the podcast or anything you want us to talk about other than self-awareness. We can do that as well. But please email me your responses at cjempowersparents@gmail.com. And then next week, we're going to talk about part 3 of our self-awareness series at our weekly podcast. So thank you so much for checking back in today. And please, please, please check us out on Instagram at CJ Empowers Parents or on Facebook at CJ Empowers. Thank you so much for checking back in today on our podcast, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.